Welcome to this wonderful occasion. I'm Aruna Sridhar. I am a host today. Now, I would like to call Pradagini to talk about the poem To the Evening Star, which was written by the William Blake. I think it's a marvelous and it's about the nature poem. Let's see how she's analyzing this poem.
Good evening, all of you. Today I am going to speak about To the Evening Star by William Blake. William Blake is one of the poets who lives in the Romantic era, and also he's a painter and printmaker. He written many poems. He wrote this poem under the topic of nature. He To the evening star, he directly talked with the evening star because he used to here William Blake says to the evening star is a ode to Venus, and also Venus is also the second planet in the solar system and the sister planet of the Earth. It appears just after dusk. According to the poet, the fair-haired angel of the evening, while the sun rests on the mountains. The poem is consists total 14 lines. It is called a sonnet. For this, there are many literary devices used in the poem. They are allusion, enjoyment, personification, alliteration, etc. And also Blake employs the themes of innocence with experience, natural beauty, light, darkness, passion, divinity, and purity. The most important theme in this poem is innocence with experience. Here, let's look at the poem. The first line is, thou fair-haired angel of the evening. Thou is a old English language. Thou means you fair-haired angel of the evening. Here the William Blake says, you are the fair-haired angel. The poet directly differentiates the evening star as angel. Here the poetic personified of the poem thinks the star is fair-haired angel. The angel is a very beautiful thing in our life. So Blake said, evening star also fair-haired angel. And the second line of this poem, now whilst the sun rests of the mountains light, now is indicated the time period. Let's look at the third line. Thy bright torch of love, the radiant crown. Here the poet used the punctuation marks. Is called as Kashura. The radiant crown, we all know crown is weared by the king and queen, but the narrator says radiant crown is weared by to the evening star. And also he thinks his evening star is one of the fair-haired angel, and Venus is considered as love, fertility, and beauty. Here here Blake used the personification to the evening star because he used many things which directly happen in the human life. And also, William Blake is one of the early romantics viewed nature in the different way. He used symbolism as well as religious ideas. He makes him poet in volume of romantic poetry. He is one of the nature lover. And also he throughout it portrays the evening star is dively light. It identified the glories, the role of God. Thank you.
Thank you, Pradagini, for your wonderful presentation. Now I would like to talk about the poem to the bird came down to the walk by Emily Dickinson. We all know that the bird came down to the walk was written by the most famous American writer Emily Dickinson, who won many prizes in American literature. Her arts became very famous after her death, and until this event, she was only known as an amazing gardener. Her works are relevant to the theme of death, and here the bird came down to the walk is an amazing masterpiece which contrasts the animal world with human world, written in 1891. When we jump into the poem, we can understand that the poet's selection of vocabulary remarked the simple act of the bird as a remarkable one, and it contains many deeper meanings to our world of nature, nation, and humans. Here, not only we can realize that the world of our nations are forgetting to learn from nature. Every act of nature has deeper meaning, and it helps us to realize something big, and it bring us the day-to-day simple and usual act of the little world as a big message to our greedy and egocentric human minds. That's why we can tell that Emily Dickinson has a talent to elevate something ordinary into extraordinary. And we can understand that her isolation from the normal world also enhanced her to write this marvelous art. As a gardener and a poet, Emily wrote an amazing description of a bird who came down to the garden to have an amazing sidewalk. There we can understand that the poet is watching a bird as a spy who is watching in a hidden way, and detailedly gives us a description and information about the each and every activities of the bird. It brings out the kinesthetic imagery. The poem is under the topic of nature, and it centers around the boons of nature and its elements, and it also talk about the distractions it is facing, and it also emphasizes this theme and the beauty and the brutality of nature. And when we analyze the first stanza, we can tell that the bird is visiting to its neighborhood, or it seems as it is visiting for the friend, but it doesn't have any fear as well. But when we move on the second stanza, we can understand that the narrator is watching it, but she didn't watch. We all know that the narrator didn't watch it with its knowing. She is watching the bird as a spy. It creates the suspense. The narrator tells us that the bird is eating the worm to feed it hungry, but the diction half indicates that the bird consumed not the full worm, but the half part of the worm. It's something different to our human world, as humans always don't feel enough whatever they have, and they always need everything in the world. And it emphasizes the greedy nature of the human and the birds' loving nature. That's why birds and other living beings are living happily, and whereas the humans are struggling in the world of greediness and the world of depression. When we move on to the second stanza, we can identify that the bird is drinking the dews in the grass to quench its thirst, and the dew which was comes from the morning mist indicates the morning time and the calming nature. Moreover, we can understand that how the natural and the organism and the nature helps the living being to fulfill their basic needs. Without nature, birds and other organisms are seen as soulless. And the next sentence project the bird as it adjusts itself to give the space to the little beetle who go away, and it emphasizes the nature that adjusts itself for the other elements in nature. And but humans always enter in the natural world as a distraction. They always think about themselves and forget the people who are around them. It indicates the human world um, as more selfish, and humans don't know about helping others as well. And I think the bird behavior will open the eyes of the greedy humans. And we all know that bird doesn't make the barrier to the beetle. From this poem, we can know that the bird didn't make the barrier to the beetle. It let the beetle pass, and it indicates the helping nature of the bird for its other living beings. Through this, we can understand the extent of the natural understanding and love between those innocent animals. But in the human, they can't understand and they can't realize what the nature means to us, what the nature is teaching to us at this moment. Then, according to the third stanza, we can understand that birds started to alert, and as it feels some irritation, and then the poet tells that she saw the fear in the bird's eyes. We can understand that until it feels the pure presence of nature, it enjoys its world and be happy. But when it feels the human's distraction around it, it started to fear, and it seems as very nervous as well. Then the Diction velvet head portrays the bird as a luxurious bird. Furthermore, we can understand that the rapid eyes indicates the um, quick movement of the bird, and it mixed with the visual and kinesthetic imagery. Then the poet tells this, that he started to offer a crumb. Here, crumb comes as human-made food, and it symbolized the human world. But the human-made food which was given to the bird was not allowed by allowed by that bird. Even though the narrator likes to feed the bird, it doesn't accept that offer. It also indicates that uh, indicates the big message that always we have to get what we need. Here the bird didn't accept the offer, as it doesn't want that offer at the time. And we can analyze this fact in another way as well. Humans are always alienating from the nature, and whenever they enters into the nature, there's some hidden purposes and personal reasons. But birds also, I think the bird also in that position, it feels like that. The bird is fully aware of the hunting intention of human nature. It shows that until the humans return from the world of greediness and selfishness, bird can't be the friend for the humans. Then the last stanza of this poem indicates that the bird is making the attempt to fly away from the place as he feels something danger and something irritating. Here the humans are projected as a distraction of our own mother nature, and they are the major reason for the imbalance of our nature. And then the birds flying away from the dangerous place is projected through the visual and the kinesthetic imageries. And this poem proves the Emily Dickinson's skill of making a simple act of the bird as a remarkable one. Since her arts are related to themes of death, this poem also has some connections and some connections to this poem. Here, the poet frankly offers the crumb, but the bird didn't accept its offer and it take it as a danger and fly away from this occasion. It indicates that even though we are very good and we are very kind to others, the death will one day knock our doors and take our souls and fly away. And according to this whole poem, nature is self-sufficient and calm. Here we can understand that when the bird understand the pure, when the nature understand its pure power, it remains as self-sufficient. And when the human enters into the world of nature, the bird may take an attempt to fly away. It indicates this theme. And we can understand that there are many techniques used in this poem. Here the poet personify the bird and give it the human characteristic, and it also known as the personification in order to contrast the world of humans and the world of birds. This poem was narrated in the third person point of view to show the poet as an observer and the poet's mindset when she watched this usual act of the bird. And it also emphasizes the imaginative and the logical and the something strange thinking of the narrator. Here, metaphor is presented in the third third stanza. He stride his velvet head. It indicates the bird as a luxurious bird, and here simile also presented in the third stanza. The narrator compares the bird's eyes to the frightened beats. It shows the fear of the bird when it realized the human's presence in that occasion. When we talk about the tone of the poem, we can understand that it is something curious. The climax of the poem comes when the speaker offers the crumb, but it flies away from her. The protagonist is frightened of the bird and struggle to understand what is nature is teaching to her. And I think it is the main thing we have to understand through this poem. The protagonist is the speaker, and we can tell us she's a poet who tries to be friendly with birds and animals, finally ends in a negative way. And through this, we can come to the conclusion that as the moral of the poem is feasting on the weaker and frightening from the stronger. Thank you for listening. Now, I would like to call Abana to talk about the poem To the Evening Star, which was written by William Blake.
Good evening to you all. Today I'm going to present on the poem To the Evening Star. The poem To the Evening Star was written by the poet William Blake in Romantic era. It was written in 18th century. The poet William Blake is the pioneer of the Romantic movement. The poem has a beautiful theme concert on nature. Here the planet Venus is called as the evening star, and it is one of the most beautiful planet in our solar system. If we look at the topic, the poet addresses the evening star with the preposition to. This poem is a sonnet which has 14 lines. The narrator tried to speak try to get closer to the evening star by sending her a message. So this poem is also be considered as ode. Um, the planet Venus appears in the sky between evening and night, when the evening transforms to night, and at the morning time. The poet addresses the evening star in a special manner. The Greek mythology people worship the goddess Venus and is give relief. Here, the poet capitalizes the poem. The people believe that the planet Venus can give solution to overcome to these matters. The evening star is the symbol of love, fertility, brightness. If we look at the first three lines in the poem, the poet describes the planet Venus with the adjective fair-haired angel. Here he personified the planet Venus. He asked the evening star to switch on the bright torch of love, um, big, bright torch of love when the sun come to the top of the mountain to get dressed. And he said, "You are the queen because the sun is going to rest and you are wearing the radiant crown." He said that silver dew is the holy water which protect the evening bed with its power. He mentioned the clouds as curtains and it's give hope. Here he also mentioned a timely sleep for young children. The dark sky symbolize the death. Here, the narrator expect how the expectation put over the storm. The word soon is a repetition. It is used to emphasize an idea. The narrator requests the narrator requests to protect the people from the evil forces. The Christianity of the divine power. Glimmery Eye shows the visual imagery of beauty and power of the star. He said the evening star to remove the evil spirit with the presence of her silver dew. When she disappear, the danger animals come out and it can harm the people. Finally, he said the people are protected with the sacred dew, and the narrator believed the evening star has the potential power to protect the people. Finally, I would like to say nature can solve all the problems on the earth. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Abana, for your wonderful presentation. Now, I would like to call Sakithian to speak about the Evening Star, which was written by the William Blake under the topic of nature.
Good morning to you all. I am going to present about To the Evening Star by William Blake. To the Evening Star by William Blake talks about the Roman goddess Venus and how she beautifies the nature during the evening. Venus and however, the poet more specifically refers to the star, goddess Venus. Venus is also the second planet in the solar system and a sister planet to our Earth. It appears just after dusk. According to the poet, the fair-haired angel who I am going to present about to the evening star. To the evening star poem was written by William Blake, who is the famous poet in Romantic era. Like his other poems, the poem conflict innocence versus experience. Into the evening star, William Blake talks about the Roman goddess Venus and how she beautifies the nature during the evening. This poem centers on the evening star. However, the poet more specifically refers to the goddess Venus. Venus is also the second planet in our solar system and a sister planet to our Earth. It appears just after dusk. According to the poet, the fair-haired angel of the evening, while the sun rests on the mountains, put her radiant crown and rule the landscape with her silvery aura. Moreover, the night is about to over. That star as a guardian spirit of the evening protects every creatures and objects with her sacred dew engendered from the tears of the goddess. This is an ode type of a poem to Venus. This poem consists with 14 lines, and it is not in a rhyming. It is not a rhyming. It is not rhyme together, and it is also a sonnet type of poem. Blake begins this poem to the evening star with a metaphor. Here, the poet uses an allusion to the Roman goddess of the beauty, fertility, desire, Venus. Along with that, in this metaphor, the poet compares the evening star to an angel having fair hair. In the next line, the poet uses personification. Readers can find the use of enjambment in the third and fourth lines. Thereafter, fourth lines. Thereafter, in silvery dew, the poet makes use of metonymy. More of the phrases west wind and speaks silence contain the alliteration. Lastly, the poem ends with a rhetorical exclamation. The narrator employs the themes of innocence versus experience, natural beauty, light, darkness, passion, divinity, and purity in this poem. The most important theme of the poem is innocence versus experience. In that way, if we analyze the poem in a detailed way, thou fair-haired angel of the evening, now whilst the sun rests on the mountains, light thy bright torch of love, thy radiant crown. Put on and smile upon our evening bed. Smile on our loves, and while to draws the blue curtains of the sky. Scatter thy silver dew over every flower that shuts its sweet eyes. In timeless sleep, let thy west wind sleep on the lake, speak silence with thy glimmering eyes, and wash the dusk with silver full soon. Dusk to withdraw, then the wolf rages wide, and then the lions glass through the dun forest. The fleeces of our flocks are covered with thy sacred dew. Protect them with the influences. The first line, thou fair-haired angel of the evening, refers the narrator wants to describe the goddess Venus in a way of fair-haired angel. In that way, the poem begins with a direct reference to the evening star as an angel. The poetic persona of the poem thinks the star is a fair-haired angel who protects the nocturnal beauty of nature. When the sun sets behind the mountain, the star appears in the sky, lights the bright torch of love at that time. So the evening star is a symbol of love too. Moreover, the speaker requests the angel to put on her radiant crown and smile upon their evening bed. Here, the poet metaphorically compares the star to monarch who protects them against the dangers. Thereafter, the speaker tells the star to smile at their loved ones. It seems that the angelic star became pleased to see her children in happiness. Moreover, the poet says the evening stars draws the blue curtains of the sky and scatters the silvery dew on every flower. When the flowers shut their eyes in timely sleep after sunset, from that, the speaker requests the star to let her west wind sleep on the lake. A west wind is a symbol to destruction. He requests the angel to calm the spirit of the wind. Thereafter, he tells the evening star to speak silently with her glimmering eyes, heighten the scenic beauty of the landscape. In the last section of the poem, To the Evening Star, the poet requests the angel of the evening to wash the dust with silver. From this section, the poem takes a quick turn to the theme of experience. Wolf and lion are the symbol to the experience, which are very dangerous to the people in night times, because they believed the darkness will attack them. So the speaker requests the Venus to protect them against the dark forces from the dark forest. William Blake is one of the early romantics, viewed the nature in a different vein. His use of symbolism as well as the religious ideas makes his poetic work stand apart from the greater volume of romantic poetry. Moreover, his use of vivid imagery is another important aspect of his poems. Thank you all for listening, for hearing me. Have a nice